Hello and welcome to ILcornTV News as we take a look at agriculture news this harvest season.
So I'm Colin Waters, Director of Exports and Logistics with Illinoiscorn. We're here in Adana, Turkey, visiting with wet millers from all over the world. There's about 30 participants from 10 different countries. This is a cooperative effort with U.S. Grains Council. It's really important. The Illinois Corn Marketing Board has supported some really critical research on corn quality that demonstrates that the wet millers in particular are leaving money on the table if they're not using U.S. corn. So we think that this is really important research that's been done at the University of Illinois by Dr. Vijay Sing, and we're sponsoring this event to kind of get the word out and help spread the word about the importance of using U.S. corn and the higher quality of the starch in U.S. corn. So hopefully driving exports in the future.
Elsewhere, nutrient loss is an important issue when considering the best management practices of a farm. Illinois Corn is working with farmers to help stop events like erosion that wipe out the nutrient composition of the soil. Cover crops may have the potential to reduce nutrient loss. Illinois Corn is encouraging farmers to use best management practices on their farms that will reduce nitrate loss by 15% by 2025 and reduce phosphate loss by 25% by 2025. To help support this goal, Illinois Corn Growers Association is working with several partners to provide programs and incentives to try best management practices like covered crops, including a seed coupon for members and a reduced cost opportunity. Here's a few details on the Illinois Corn Cover Crop Program. $7 an acre for existing cover crop acres. $15 an acre for new cover crop acres. 1 year Illinois Corn membership if not already a member, and it's eligible to use with cover crop coupons. You can go to ILcorn.org for more information about this program. And as we wind down September, many of you are already in the fields picking corn, and we want to wish you a safe and bountiful harvest this season. Let's turn to plant pathology and entomology specialist Nathan Kolcheski. He has information about disease, insects, and what corn producers should be aware of this season.
So I was asked about what the 3 things that producers in Illinois should be aware of this year, corn producers should be aware of and kind of have on your kind of top of your mind. If I'm kind of spitting out that list, I would say first off, corn rootworm, especially when we get into corn on corn production areas, as we get further in the north part of the state, we really need to be paying attention to our rootworm adult beetle populations in the fall, so we know where those eggs are likely to be. And we also got to be smart about our hybrid choices when that's concerned. So rotation is really important for helping to minimize the impact of that insect. And again, you know, we got to realize that we do have some insensitive populations out there to those BT traits, so we got to be careful about those. Another thing I want to mention is you don't realize this even in these areas where maybe we don't have a lot of foliar disease because, hey, it's been hot and dry. We still need to be aware of stalk rots this year. So you need to be out in your fields checking standability. I always tell people 1 site per every 10 to 15 acres of field. Do the push test, or you're just kind of pushing it. And if you average about 10 to 15% of those plants at R5 at black layer falling over and not bouncing back, you want to be putting those on your list for early harvest. We forget that drought actually can cause that plant to start scavenging those carbohydrates from the root and the stalk. Makes it really easy for those stalk rotting fungi to get in there and turn your stalks into hollow tubes. And the third thing to be aware of, especially if you're further south in the state, is we do seem to have a lot more earworm pressure than we would expect. And some of those BT traits that have been effective in the past, they're just not holding up the way they used to. So we're going to have to be paying attention to that a little bit, making sure we're using maybe some of these newer traits that are effective against earworm. And you know, I always tell people, get out there scouting before VT. Look for those larvae. If you have to make an application and it's justified, go ahead and do it. But what I worry about most with earworm is not the direct damage that it's doing in yield loss. I worry about that potentially providing an entryway for ear molds. So gibberella, diplodia, all these fungi that can get in on your ears, causing ear rot, and then potentially contaminate your grain with toxins. We really want to be avoiding that if we can.
Finally, in our next report, October is National Pork Month, and we will share a promotion with you from the Illinois Pork Producers Association that features pork and pig skins. Like us on Facebook, visit ILcorn.org, or subscribe to our YouTube page today for more information. Have a great and safe week in the fields.